Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Ousama Ranking Episode 2. Welcome back. We're 1 week later. It's Wednesday again, everybody, and as is the way of the channel, we are back to Ousama Ranking. We watched Episode 1 last week and it was fantastic, and I'm very, very excited to get into Episode 2, which hopefully will pick right up right where we left off, which should be very interesting because we left off in a dramatic moment. So I'm very excited for that. Last time, when we started off Ousama Ranking, we had a knockout, a home run of a first episode in pretty much every way that I can imagine it. We met Boji the OG, not quite, but he's trying, and he is the young prince of the kingdom of Bossy. I still don't know how to say that, but I'm gonna go with Bossy because it seems right to me. And we met, along with him, we met Kage the Shadow and formed a bit of a bond there between this odd criminal shadow character and this young, naive boy character. We discovered this character's place in the world at present and found out over the course of the episode about his goal for the future. Essentially, setting up a bit of a little chart that I've got it drawn out here, and maybe I can show it to you. You can't see that. Let me make you see this. Yeah. Whatcha. Great, we did it. So here's our character, right? That's our character. That's Boji. Here's his support, Kage, who's going to stand up next to this wall, which is his obstacle, which at the moment is represented by Daida. And then his goal is his father. So our character is here, and there's an obstacle clearly that sits out in front of him, which is represented by Daida, but isn't Daida because it's actually the whole world around him and his whole position in it and the fact that he's deaf and mute and all these problems that he has. And then there's Kage, who I think is character-wise going to act as his support and be like something that shoves him forward and pushes him onward to overcome this obstacle and reach his goal, which is partly to become like his dad, but more importantly to become like recognized by everybody as being good at being a king. And I think probably, given the name of the series and the way we've set things up, we're going to have to prove ourselves in Kingdom, and then we're probably going to have to prove ourselves outside of Kingdom over the course of whatever the ranking of kings is, because there's a thing that ranks kings, and obviously if you're going to be the best king, you got to get rated as the best king. There's like an in-world direct ranking system for kings, and Boji's going to want to do that, right? He's going to want to be the best king that he can possibly be, and so we're probably going to end up in that situation. I don't know. Maybe things will go well before then. Maybe they won't. I said before that I felt like this was Game of Thrones Princess Tutu, and that's a lot of terrifying stuff to happen. So the chances that characters might just start dying is high. I don't know, but that's the feeling that I get. The last thing that I have written down for my notes here are just some of the things that are innate to the way that the series looks and feels that feel really cool to me, and those are motion and emotion is what I wrote down, but what I mean here is the way that the motion of the characters and the motion of the scenes and the motion of Kage and the motion of all the things creates the emotional sequences, creates the feeling of emotion in those characters, and it's a lot. The way that this happens is all the time in everything and a lot, and it's really, really good. Also just wrote down style, color, and aesthetic atmosphere, all of which I think are very important for the overall feel and vibe of this show, which are crucial and maybe more important at this point than the actual actions of our characters or the things that they've done. But anyway, over the course of the episode, we met Boji the OG, we met Kage the Shadow, we met his, I think, half-brother, Daida, who is considered to be a much better option for king than Boji is, which has to hurt. It's got to feel real bad if your desperate goal, deeply held and closely held to your heart, is to become a great king, having a little half-brother who's a better option than you are. But like, we as the audience understand that Boji is the better option, probably. He just has to become that and prove it to the world. So we get this strong underdog story. You can imagine it as though it were a sports shonen, and you've got this character who's like, I don't know, just for a random example, a character who's like short, playing a sport that requires you to not be short, you know, like a coup type of show. You've got this character with a distinct disadvantage, but the drive and motivation and maybe the people surrounding him to propel him forward, maybe over a direct and genuine obstacle to prove himself against or toward those people who are better than him innately, right? Like, yeah, there's some similarities that you can draw between this sort of setup and a lot of the sorts of setups that we get in different kinds of anime, and that's cool because the kinds of stories that those shows tell usually end up being really inspiring and really fun. So I'm looking forward to more of this underdog story of Boji the OG. And given the place we left off in the last episode, I think we've got a lot of room to do that. So we left off with a training sparring match where, Sodomasta. Yeah, that. Thank you to commenter. Let me find the commenter. Let me shout out this person. Yes, huge shout out to 233OSW. For some names in this show are puns on Japanese words. For episode 1, we got to know Domas' name. He is a sword master. Sodomasta equals Domas. Right, so I actually had forgotten Domas' name for a second, and I put it together via that trick. Sodomasta. Domas is training Boji and getting frustrated with the fact that Boji seems to suck. Daida comes by and decides to have a sparring match with Domas, and we realize through Domas's expressions that Daida is a genius of the blade and is very, he's studied the blade. While Boji was out there frolicking in the fields and jumping on castles, Daida was studying the blade. But he is, and he was, and he's real good. And then, after a bit of a cool fight, Daida loses in a way and seems very frustrated with that, demonstrating a little bit of his character and a little bit of what lies beneath the surface when he can't quite restrain himself. At which point, Boji, for reasons that I still don't fully understand, decides to pick up his own practice implement and stand and challenge Daida to a match, which then begins, and we discover that Boji is actually pretty good at doji. Boji the doji. Baji. I don't know. He seems very, very good at dodging. He has also been, at one point, assaulted by a bunch of snakes, which seem like they might be the forte and the wheelhouse of a creepy swordmaster trainer who's been the trainer of Daida and seems a little bit conniving and snaky. Might have been trying to kill Boji for reasons, but we don't know. Could have been an assassination attempt. Maybe. Maybe not. But it turns out that Boji's really good at dodging, and so now we're watching him fight, and it seems like it might go well or not. I don't know how long he can keep this up, and I don't know if he can ever get hits in himself. He got one little tap in on Daida's head, and I just don't know what's going to happen. So that's where we left off. We're in a pretty hype, tense moment. I don't know if we're going to do a thing where we're like, boom, we're in that moment and we're continuing on with it. Or if we're going to do a thing where we like flash to somewhere else and spend most of the episode setting something up and then move back to that moment to do like a full circle resolution on that thing with more context sort of situation. That seems like it might be more of the thing to do because it's like a cool cliffhanging first episode ending to have us end with the fight happening. But then it feels like there's probably more stuff that we should flesh out and then come back to that so that it's still tense in our minds and we're waiting for it to happen. We'll see. If I'm right on that, then pat on the back for me. If I'm wrong, then I don't have a thing for that. I should come up with a dumb punishment game for myself. I have to eat a spoonful of cayenne pepper. That's a terrible idea. Don't make me do that. I'm not going to do that. Cool. That's all of my blather for the beginning of this episode. Ousama Ranking has gotten a ton of support. A lot of people popping into the Discord and saying that they're really excited about seeing Ousama Ranking. So that excites me. I'm very happy to be going on this journey and to have you coming along with me. So please come along with me for this next step in our journey toward awesome kinghood. So here we are with episode 2 of Ousama Ranking. I once again have the subs please version because nobody's told me to do otherwise. If you think that I should do otherwise, let me know. Also, I will do comment spotlights for this, so I just don't have the comments yet because episode 1 kind of hasn't gone live yet, so I just don't have enough comments to go through them. But write interesting comments about the show, and maybe I'll talk about them at the beginning of next week's episode. If that sounds fun to you, write the comments. Wonderful. There will be 2 versions of this reaction video. You can find a picture-in-picture version with the video up there, linked in the description down there, and a timer-based version up on YouTube. If you want to do a syncy thing, sync up your own copy. That's what it's there for. Get your copy ready because the beep timer to count you down will be coming at you soon. Also, if you want next week's episode a little bit early, it'll be up on the Patreon. Check that out. It's in the description. It's the only way that this channel makes money. There are no ads on this content or any of the other content, so, you know, that helps a lot, and thank you. That's it. Let's get to it. Ousama ranking episode 2, beep timer. This is an unholy mixture of various teas. Okay, so Kage's doing the thing. Super good-natured. Way too good-natured. Yes, and they are saleable. Right, because you got... Yes. But, so we're all from Kage's perspective right now. For some reason. Well, because it's curious, because it's interesting. Okay, and straight to OP. So, maybe this will be our format moving forward. There's been some discussion over whether people like this song, and one of the arguments was that it's a little bit too cluttered musically. I don't know if that's true. I think it's opinion more than anything, and honestly, I like the track. I think it works. I think it's meant to be chaos, and I'm okay with it. Yeah, I still quite like it, honestly. I can grasp the argument. Like, it's chaos, for sure. But I do think it comes together, so... Whatever. The Prince and the Shadow. What? That's a rocking horse. Oh. Not a rocking horse. It's a little wheelie horse. Why do you have it? Oh, they are oh, this is in the days of yore. Oh my god. People are murdering the Shadow Clan. Oh, he's a little baby. Oh, it's mom and a little baby. Oh, jeez. We're going on the hunt. Me daddy. The Light Clan. I didn't realize that was a thing. Kachanwa. Oh. Oh, Kachan. No! I've only known Kachan for... No. We'll meet up in the toxic forest. I'm sure we will. Oh, mama. Run. Run, boya. She knows she won't. What? Fight me. Sacrifice. Geslan. Alright, I mean, this is a character. Yikes. That's genocide. Just doing a casual genocide here. Run, Kage! Oh yeah, pat on the back because we're giving us more context before coming back here, right? No, they're still coming. It means mommy isn't doing the thing. No, my guy. Oh, she's still fighting. Oh no. No! It was all in vain, Mom! Shit. What an evil grin. Oh, is this a person who's gonna save him? Just kidding. Really? Poise. Hey. I can't speak properly because my teeth is a problem. Woof. And oh my god, yeah, he's got his mom's corpse. Oh, the cover. Oh my god, they're going so far to save him. Hey. Oh my god. Alright, I hope that Poise is a character moving forward, because I want to know her as like a young adult, you know? Oh. Yeah, my whole clan is fucking dead. Thanks, dude. Daijobu Kashira? I wonder who that voice actress is. She sounds really familiar. Ooh, dark and smeary. Yeah, welcome to being alone. Man, we've got this rocking horse, this little wooden horse. It's gonna be a thing, huh? That horse is gonna cause me pain. Oh, kid. So, what does Shadows need to survive? Does he need anything besides darkness? Oh, kid. Oh, he needs food. Nope. Become thief. Become thief, child. Okay, he gets hungry. Become thief. Eat cobbler's tubers. Ooh, jingle jingle. If only I could do the stealing. Oh, it's gonna hurt so much. Oh. Hiya! Please. I will trade it anyway. Thief! Shoot. Yeah, nobody cares. Oh, God. Oh, no. Starvation, huh? Yep. Do anything for scraps. And then abuse you. Yep, okay. Gonna have him steal for you? I'm gonna guess. so that the thieving life begins, and eventually he'll become free and do it on his own, continuing. And we did it. Yay, big haul. Big haul. And of course, he's not going to get any of it. Not really. Oh ho, friendship. This is good, right? Certainly, this is probably good. But he keeps bringing it back when he should just leave. This is gonna fall apart. Yeah, okay, scraps. You're gonna get caught, man. 1 coin. Oh, connection, huh? Some kind of real connection, but it's all fucked up. Oh, and he's drinking. And gambling. Drinking and gambling. What does that say? Reward shadows? Reward shadows. %100 gonna sell him out. Oh. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Survival. Oh. Perfect form. It's innate. We require a bond, like a shadow. Our light, right. Fuck, dude, this is a harsh episode. Welcome to reality. Bah. Some, like, glowy bullshit light stuff. God, is that a mask? Ah, fucker sold him out. Oh, no, that was now. That's present day. Okay. It was a flashback to the mom, but this is Kage it's himself. Right, all-powerful in darkness. Sorry. It's him. He's back. Rejected. Gotta go make it on your own, my guy. Gonna follow him around? No. He's not worth it, man. He sucks. No. Oh, yeah, he's dead. Don't remember him this way. I mean, it's better that way than the other, but now he's really learning about death, huh? Get the fuck out, dude. Well, he certainly knows how it feels to feel powerless. That's one thing that Kage gets. All right, off into the future. This is way too rough. All right, another kingdom, not our kingdom. Fuck you, man. Just wants connection. Needs a person, right? Needs a human. More and more jaded. Hello, Boji. Doopa-doopa-doopa-doopa-doopa-doopa-doopa-doo. And here we are. And here we are. There we go. Well, we know why now, right? Now we know why. And we're back to it. Pat on the back. Yeah. Oh, he's Dodgy the Bodgy. Boji the Doji. Oh, he's fighting back. Something that Kage never did. Not really. Dink. Let me bring the same track back in. I got it. Ha ha. Yeah ha ha ha. 8 minutes left. Nice. He's gonna get the shit kicked out of him, isn't he? Yeah. Go, Boji. I believe. Tap. Wrap your knuckles. True. He's got the observant feet for sure. You shut the fuck up. No. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What? Dodge, dodge, tap? So they're making fun of it now. But it's effective. It works. It's good. Wow. Ah. Of course. Lose the... Play fair! Fight me for real! Stop camping, dude! Bro, stop camping! You have to engage. I don't know what he said. I think he probably told him if you don't let him hit you, you're going to lose all of your, like, kingliness. Block it directly, and he gets smacked in the fucking head. I think we'll find out at the end what Doma said. Ow, that was my throat, dude. Because it's smarter to get beat the shit out of. Yeah, give him this satisfaction. It's more important. This is necessary. Whoa, cruelty. If he can still stand, he can still be beaten. Finish him. Yeah. Oh, good. Bringing it back. Very good. Kage, don't. Kage, don't. Whatever you're about to do, don't do it. Oh. So close to the reveal. I wonder if Api saw him. I don't. Could you more speak, please? Can't just dodge. Kekakudori. Sure, dude. Is that mom? Ooh, mirror, mirror. What? I'm sorry, what? Does he have his own shadow? What was that? He's got something evil working behind his scenes. Okay. Hmm. All right, Kage. Yeah, maybe. But I do think he was trying to keep... I think he was trying to keep Boji safe in a weird way. Oh, the symbol. Ow! Oh, is he going for the sword? He wants so badly to get stronger, man. Oh. 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 This is too hard. I know why we need this. We need this so that we feel the elation of actually achieving it later, but fuck. Ah, it's so good. Fuck you, show. You're gonna get a fuck you show out of me for this one. Fuck you, show. Thing? What? Oh. Oh no. Oh. Oh, what a fuck you face. Oh, fuck you, show. Contract sealed. You're my human now. Ah. Fuck. Absolutely fuck you. Ah. Not even words at this point. Just an emotional wreck. God damn it. Oh, that's the... Okay. Okay. Oh, it's gone. Okay. Oh. Oh, I need a minute. Ow, my soul. Ow, my soul. That was a lot. That was a whole lot right there, man. Wow. I thought this show would get dark, but not in this direction. I should have expected it to get darker in this direction. I mean, we set up the idea of this like assassin squad of shadows. I still don't understand what other people precisely see when they look at Kage. Because it seems like everybody's generally aware of him. Like in the tavern, people are like shooing him away. And people, see him when he's trying to buy food from them and stuff. But the world isn't full of like other weird creatures. It's just the shadows and then the humans. It's weird. Some of the elements of the direction here, some of the elements of the production are just so on point that I don't know, they just sort of explode my brain. Like the little moment where we come back and we see Boji being beat down by Daida, and we flash to Kage and see through Kage's eyes the scene of like the spear with his mother's corpse hanging from it, and the sequences there, and we get it all meshed together and interrelated back as a callback. I think at that point I said something like, there's the callback, like that's reincorporation, there it is. I think that's so on the money, so perfect. um yeah, yeah, I think it's so perfect. I think one line in this episode really truly stands out to me, and it's the line from Kage's mother when she says, like, we have the perfect form for doing bad things, is so interesting. Because he's asking her, like, why are we as shadows? Why are we assassins? Why do we do this the way that we do this? Why are we allowed to be so cruel? And her answer is that we have the perfect form for doing bad things. And that the implication there is that the way that you are determines what you should be. And it seems to be exactly the counter argument for the entire show, right? The way that Boji is should imply that he will never be a king. He will never be a leader of people. He will always be a failure. And likewise, the way that Kage is implies that he should always be a threat, always be a villain, always be a vile assassin, all of these things. But we know already, because of the way the setup is placed, that Boji will overcome his difficulties, his obstacles, and become the greatest king. Like, it's the nature of the show, right? It's like Gon Freaks will become a hunter. No shock there. Or I mean, I don't know that this one's true, but like, Monkey D. Luffy will find the One Piece, right? Or even better one, because it's the straight up exactly the line in the thing. Midoriyama will become the greatest hero, right? Because it's the story of becoming the greatest hero. And this is the story of becoming the greatest king. It has to be. It is. So that idea of like, well, my form determines my function and what I should do in the world and in society is the opposite of the moral of the story, I think. So putting that in there so directly feels really powerful to me, feels really smart from a writing perspective. I'm stunned by how dark this episode was, and in an understated way. But then it's also it's contrast, right? There's contrast there. There's the incredible darkness of we meet this evil character with the fucking teeth, right? Who's the king of, some guy of light or whatever, and they're fucking hunting down all of these assassins, all of the Shadow Clan, and they call them the Light Clan. But the distinction there is, that's not our light. That's not what we see as light. What the shadows see as light is helping the person that they're sworn to as best they can, even if that means being an assassin for them. And that's exactly what they want to do, right? It's the opposite, exactly the opposite. But then there are all these layers to it. There's this layer of, it is because your form determines your function that others can look at you and judge you directly by your form, and then apply a generalization like, well, all shadows are dangerous assassins, and therefore we should draw the conclusion that we should kill all the shadows, right? Or all deaf mute boys are useless, and therefore Boji shouldn't be blah blah blah, right? It's so intricate already in its like morality. And then I was talking about like the darkness of the episode and then the flashes of light in it. The darkness is obviously that horrifying sequence where we're hunting down and murdering all of these sentient beings because they're assassins. They're not humans, but they are sentient beings. They're sapient. They have the ability to speak, right? It's kind of fucked up, and it's obviously fucked up. But then in the middle of that, he stumbles upon we get the brilliant bright light of his mother sacrificing himself to stand in their way for only a second and get him free. And then we have the brilliant shining beacon of hope that is Poise, and her father actively like hurting themselves to protect them, to protect this shadow kid and helping him, going far beyond the limitations of what they can and should do in order to do so, right? Like putting their own necks on the line in order to do so. At least that's the implication that I get. That's really cool, right? It implies that there is this possibility for people to get along across these boundaries of being shadow people or being normal people or whatever. Like people can get along, and there are people who will be able to do that. You don't have to be as jaded as Kage has become. I think that's the really one of the really powerful things about this episode is that we really, really distinctly and clearly show Kage's journey into becoming jaded. And this is something that I've seen in a lot of pieces of media is the journey of a character into, I wouldn't say depravity, but like desperation. We see that a lot in media because it's an effective starting point for a lot of types of characters. But this particular instance of it and the way that it is expressed and the way that it plays out is pretty much pitch perfect. The desperate struggle for food at first, the choice to steal at first, right? The repercussions of that first theft leading him to be thrown into that alleyway and then get picked up by somebody who's discovers that a person or I'll just say Kage is a person in a position of desperation is very easy to manipulate. All they have to do is dangle a carrot in front of them, and it doesn't even have to be a fresh carrot, right? It can be scraps. All I have to do is dangle a carrot in front of them and they will enable you to gain so much power. I just thought of a good analog for this. Year or so ago, we watched Dororo, 20-something episodes, story about a little girl pretending to be a boy, meets a young man who is an extraordinary swordsman, but is also effectively has no body parts, like is lacking most of his body parts, right? Can't really hear, see, smell, taste, all those things, speak. Can't do any of those things. Become like a protector duo. It's kind of similar in a way. Something that stands out to me in this episode is the way that we hit all these emotional beats. Because we hit them so well and so hard and so like right on accurately that the fact, and I think it is a fact, that most of these emotional beats are things that individually I've seen in different contexts totally flies out the window and doesn't matter anymore because they're just a part of the flow of this story. It's really good. It's really goddamn good. It's really, 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 really good. I don't have enough reallys. It's really good. I also like the flow of the intro that we've got the Kage speech about Boji and then move into it. I wonder what kind of perspective we're gonna take in the future. I don't know. And then we move into the OP, of course. Again, I said some things about the OP. I don't know. I still like it. I still don't dislike it. I think it's good. Man, hard open. Immediately assassins are after the assassins, and we are running away, little boya in hand, little Kage boy. I love this character's design. I mean, I hate it. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. The haircut is gross. The clothing is awful. It's like the little short guy in Shrek. I forget his name. Farquaad. With the big ass chin and the whole vibe, right? It's that kind of an aesthetic. And then his horse just looks like an asshole. Just looks like a mean horse. Giving our camera a look like, just a mean horse with a mean guy on him. I love the way he sounds, too. I love what his voice actor does with this character. I want you to get out of here, Kage. I want to save you. Run to the toxic forest. Somewhere where they won't chase you down. This moment, like they nail these little moments where they hold this scene a little bit longer than it could be. The tension is building in the music and she's like holding him really tight and it's like a double tight hug and he blushes too and it's like, oh, this is the last time he's seeing his mom for real, right? Mom will take care of it. Mom's got it. And then there's this. They can like shine a light on everything and totally bring him to death. This guy's voice, though. What's his name? It's Geslan? I want to look him up, and I want to look up the girl, Poise. I don't know if either of them will be really listed, but I'm going to look for it anyway. Well, it's Tsuguo Mogami, and he is literally nothing that I recognize at all. Yeah. He is Keith Shadis in Shingeki no Kyojin, but I haven't seen enough of that to really recognize that, so I just don't know him. Okay, cool. What about Poise? Not finding Poise. So that's unfortunate. Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to look that stuff up. Once you've been seen, you're at your weakest. I feel like there's like some kind of metaphorical interesting thing there, but I don't know. This is so creepy. The like masked soldier characters. I feel like they are actually wearing masks, which is super scary. And then of course the focus shifts to the piles of corpses on their spears that all just wave around him. Just hold still and wait, but she's got something to fight for. And we come over here and we see this. It looks like it's over for mommy. Fuck, man. And the grin on his face, the happiness about it, so freaky. I know we're going to meet this character when she's older, for sure. And I'm curious to see what she's like when she's older. I'm really excited to see that. This whole moment is so tense and intense, and the fact that Poise covers is amazing. And I'm really excited to see this character moving forward, right? We are in the service of King Bo. Okay. This is all the help we can give you. I'm just going to check something. Bo is his father? Is Boji's father? I'm not positive. No, it's Bossy is his father. So I don't know if King Bo is... I don't know who King Bo is. Yeah, I think he's a different person. Because that's Bossy. And it just seems like it might be the same person, but it's not. So that's not that. And I thought that this had led him to the kingdom of Bo, and that's just wrong. So King Bo is a different kingdom, which means that Poise is probably not blood related to Boji, which means that they could date. Just a thought. Oh man, I love this transition. Oh, right. Okay, so this is amazing. We go from this sunny day where death occurs, and we move to here, and rain starts sprinkling. I love this background. It's got such a feel to it. I don't really know for sure. I couldn't tell you exactly what we're looking at here. But this looks like when you see rain clouds in the distance and they're beginning to drop like pouring rain, and you can see the streaks of the rain coming down. But then all of that is covering what looks like mountains and cliffs, and then also the forest back there. I love this transition. How there's like light here, but there's darkness and shadow and rain over there. It's like it's just for him. It's like the emotional aspect of the weather is just for him. And we transition from there into deep dryness, and then drought, and then loss and lack of anything. And the voice acting around Kage is amazing and lovely. And the timing choices, right, where he looks at this item, this object, the last thing that he has of his mother, and looks at an apple and is like, I have to, right? And the timing that we choose that moment to show where he got it and how happy he was to get it makes it hurt so much more to give it up for that one bite of food, right? And he puts it out and he tries to trade it, and she won't even look at him. And so he puts it down and makes the fair trade and steals the apple and gets the shit kicked out of him for it. And it leads him down this rabbit hole of desperation and despair. Let's make some money. So he learns to steal, but for somebody else. And the question is, what's he doing it for, right? If nothing matters, then why do it? What's the point? And it's right here. The little bit of praise, the little bit of connection, the little bit of feeling like he's worthwhile in the world makes it all worthwhile. Even if what he's doing is evil, it makes him feel like he's got some value. And so he continues and continues and continues. And he seeks out that companionship and connection from somebody who doesn't deserve it from him, but it's the only place he can get it. And so he does this. This feels too real for me. This feels too real. The idea of helping people who use and manipulate you because you're just desperate to have a connection to a person, regardless of how they actually treat you, that's too real. It's too real. That's a situation that I've been in. For real, for real. Never, like, hopefully, obviously, never, like, stealing for somebody and stuff, but continuing to help out people, and I guess what you could say is to be the only friend part of a friendship relationship, or other relationship, but in my situations, being the only one who's doing any of the friendship stuff. And just having the friendship exist is the only reason that you do it. It's fucked up. It's not cool. So we see him find this poster after drinking, and we know immediately what's on it, or I do at least, and it's right. It's exactly what it is. Okay, we get this conversation, and this is the point where I wanna just go through the lines really quick. So give me a sec to do that. Ooh, there is another element here before we dive a little bit further. You all are some super powerful assassins, right? Like when we first meet, when we first have Kage meet the other, like the snake assassin guy, the snake sword guy. I don't know his name. I forget his name. You all are some super powerful assassins. Immediately, the first thing that another character but Boji says about Kage is that you're one of those like that group of assassins. Immediately, there's this like sins of the father type of thing, right? Like Kage, as far as we can tell, has never murdered anybody from what we've seen. Now that he's got some unaccounted for time there where he's growing up and becoming growing up as a thief urchin shadow in a city somewhere, being a thief, but he was never an assassin. Yet everyone will judge him as though he is an assassin, as though he's a danger, as though he's a murderer, because it's what his clan was. That's interesting, and I wonder if that will come into play as like something that we reflect on all the other characters. I'm intrigued by that. Anyway, I'm going to continue. What kind of bad guys have you gotten rid of? And her answer is, well, we'll kill anybody. Men, women, children, sick, old, doesn't matter. Why? That's why we have no right to say anything if someone else kills us is an interesting thing, but why do you do that stuff? And the answer is, maybe because we were born with the perfect forms for doing bad things. We do the bad things because we are innately attuned to doing bad things, right? We're good at it, and so we do it. I think that's a good answer for humans, too, right? Because we're doing it with this clan of assassins that are clearly, they're built for this, right? But humans are built for doing bad things, too. We're great at it. We're great at it. We are wired for some evil shit. Deeply capable of incredible acts of evil and greed and desire and treachery. Man, we're able to betray each other. That's fucking crazy. Born with the perfect forms for doing it. That really stands out to me. But listen to me, we do whatever we can to serve the interests of the people who need us. That's what our light is. We are the shadow, they are the light. We serve. We serve those who need us. And Boji's the one who needs him, right? That's going to be it. And then here we are. And he wakes up here just in time for them to come. And again, it's these masks. Yeah, those are real guard faces behind there. This guy with the mask, these are like a Inquisition kill squad thing. And he counts his coins. And Kage continues following him around. He gets into a random bar fight and gets stabbed in the chest, and he's going to die, and Kage can't do anything about it. Not even one little thing. But he remembers these moments. He remembers the good times. He remembers it's not Stockholm Syndrome, but it might as well be, right? And he watches this man slip away. Probably the first person since his mom that he's seen die. Probably. And we montage through him going around to different places, becoming more and more jaded as he's treated poorly and has to be a part of this world. And he finally meets this kid and doesn't know why he goes to watch him fight. But the truth is, Kage's been fighting this same kind of fight for his entire life, right? So, we begin watching it, and Kage roots for him. It looks like Daida is going to lose. but Boji can't beat him. And he certainly can't beat him in the eyes of the people. I think this seems really important to me. This feels like the kind of a thing that's going to have repercussions into the future. Like, if the ranking of kings is a core plot element, which I think it will be, how much more important is the viewpoint of the people on you than your actual skill at leadership? And I think the answer is infinitely more important, right? I think that you could be the best at statecraft and like sparring and dueling and all of these things, but if the people think you're a cheater for the way that you do it, because you do it in a different way than they expect, then you are never going anywhere. It's an interesting lesson to learn here this early in the series, and it lays out for us this, I think, core idea of the series, which seems to be that doing things the right way is crucial. And that makes a lot of sense for like court politics type of storytelling, where you could do things that are effective, but if you do them the wrong way, that's going to cause huge problems for you. It's very interesting. It means that the goal is much harder for Boji to reach than it would be otherwise. It means the obstacle, the wall, is much higher. Because if the wall is just become good swordsman, become good at statecraft, that's it. It's easy. But we started off with Boji walking through town in his underwear, and that's what people think of him. They think of him as a laughingstock, and he has to overcome that somehow. And can he? I mean, it might be impossible, but that's what makes it an interesting story. That's very cool. That's very cool. But we start to get these voices. It's sickening. It's sneaky. And these are like the voices. These are the Johns, man. Bringing in a melee term. No Johns. Johns are when you play a game with somebody and they're like, oh, I just wasn't warmed up, man. My controller's acting funny, man. That's why I lost. It's dumb, dude. You just keep camping me. You stop playing lame, bro. Just approach me, right? This happens a lot in Melee, because it's a one-on-one fighting game, right? And so it's sort of the same sort of situation where it's a duel, and there's an unspoken set of rules that are maybe more important for popular opinion than the spoken set of rules, Like the spoken set of rules, the real set of rules is, if the game goes till 8 minutes, if it goes till time, game ends there. But the unspoken set of rules is intentionally camping out a game to 8 minutes to win off of time is bad sportsmanship. It's bad play. It's sneaky. You're undervaluing the skill of your opponent because you're not engaging with them. You're not fighting them in a certain way. It's the same idea. It's like there's a moral layer to the way that you engage in this confrontation. It's not just about winning the confrontation. It's about winning in a way that demonstrates skill and allows the other person to demonstrate their skill too. If you play in a way that invalidates the other person's skill, then you're a cheater. But then you have to play in a way that invalidates your own skill, right? Boji's skill is his ability to dodge and his precision in smacking Daida back. But because it invalidates Daida's power and technique, he's not allowed to play that way. And so his own skill, dodging and precision, is invalidated because he has to fight him head on and he can't do that. It's bullshit. It's stupid. It's a stupid rule. And that's the point, I think, is that the rule should change. But you can't change the rule. Nobody's going to change the rule because the rule keeps them in power. So you have to get power before you change the rule, but you can't get power because you can't change the rule. This idea, he'll turn them all against him at this rate. It looks like he's making fun of someone who's desperately fighting, makes Boji out to be the bad guy in this situation, even though what he's doing is just fighting his own way. And it's so interesting. And he recognizes it. It's the only way someone as powerless as Prince Boji can fight. But he can't do this. He cannot continue to do this. And Daida is, of course, the bad sport here in our eyes. This isn't fair, brother. Fight me like a man, right? Like, fight me head on. But that's not the best way to fight. Not for Boji. And Domas tells him exactly the truth, which is that this is not the way a king fights. It could be. Maybe it should be. But it's not. And so it's going to be judged as fighting like a coward. It's very interesting. Optics, right? It's optics. It's how it looks to the people, not just how it affects everything, how it works. It's the optics of it. It might be the most efficient deal, but if its optics aren't sound, you've got to change it so that it looks good. That's really interesting. It's complicated. It's complicated. It reminds me a little bit of, a lot actually, of some of the political intrigue in Song of Ice and Fire, in Martin's stuff, because of the way that things have to look in order to be a certain way, right? Some of the King's Landing stuff, right? Sansa in King's Landing, that kind of stuff, that kind of thinking through what moves you should make for political goals and how they will look to the people is really interesting. It reminds me of some stuff in Stormlight too. Like, how do I do this without spoiling anything? Sorry, I might spoil stuff for Stormlight. Kaladin makes this really big mistake at a tournament. He challenges somebody that he really shouldn't challenge in a certain circumstance, and it's the right thing to do, but it's wrong according to the rules of engagement. That kind of a thing. Yeah, that kind of a thing. So Domas tells Boji what he can and can't do. We don't realize what he says, but we see the result, which is Boji starts taking it head on, and Daida takes every bit of pleasure in beating the shit out of him. Why don't they stop him? Because it's necessary. And Domas narrows his eyes. And it is the other one, Appius, who, in the moment where Kage is sprinting out in order to save his boyo, the spear lands, and this spear boy comes in and stops the fight. I know what you're saying, but it had to be this way. Brother was fighting dirty. I made sure he'll never recover from that. What did he tell him to do? He told him this is not the way of fighting as a king. And he responds with everything is proceeding exactly as predicted. This is all part of the plan. Keikaku Dori, Xanatos Gambit shit? I don't fucking know. Now this voice, I thought it was his mom. But it's got this weird echo to it. It's not. We walk in and we see this mirror. And it is mirror, mirror on the wall. I'll be the next king, just as you said, and a shadowy figure in the form of a humanoid appears in the mirror. What is Daida working with? And why are they, sponsoring him? Something worse than Kage, obviously. Oh, man. So Domas has this moment where he's like, all right, this kid sucks. Poor kid. I feel bad about it, but it's not, it's nothing. We flash through all these moments. We've got Boji, in the midst of it all, continues reaching out for his sword. He just wants to be good. He just wants respect. For himself. Nobody's watching him, right? Nobody's looking at Boji. He's doing this for him. He just wants to be able to hold it. Fuck. And they nail all the lighting and the aesthetic and the angle and the feel and the voice actor and the crumple and the cry and the way he tries to pull himself back together as well. He tries to point at the big chest like, oh, you can have this. And Kage seals the deal. I want to be in your corner from now on, no matter what happens, and we hold on this shot. I mean it, Boji. You and me, baby. We're going the distance. That's right. You smile and cry at the same time, boy. Yeah. Oh. Oh, man. I'm coming out of it. This is an excellent episode. It hurts a lot. What a story. What a tale. Telling Kage's story now. Really setting this up for some stuff in the future. You put some emphasis into a character's backstory like this, and then you throw our characters together. It really sets up, it's like I drew that little chart at the beginning. It's like, oh, here's our character. Here, there's an obstacle. There's a goal. So simple, right? So simple. But so many shows mess this up. So many pieces of media mess this shit up, right? They screw it up. They screw it up. They don't have an effective obstacle, or the obstacle isn't introduced in episode 1. It's just the character fucking around. Or, you know, the goal is non-existent, or is something absurd, or, you know, just isn't well expressed or well thought through. Plenty of shows like that. Plenty of good shows that are like that don't really have a goal, you know? We've got a proactive main character, a proactive protagonist, a protagonist with a goal who's driven towards something and is in motion pretty much from the start of the show. And that for that to work, this sort of setup needs to be immaculate, and so far it's been immaculate. It's been perfect for setting up, understanding where our characters come from and what direction they're heading in and what's in their way. All those elements are just excellent, just excellent. But there's also woven mystery there that's like, how did things get this way? What are those obstacles? How do they work? What is Dido working with? What forces are actually arrayed against us? You know, how bad is this tribe of light that seems to have imposed its will upon the world to some extent? I don't know. I don't know. That's very exciting. The show's good. The show is good. And I'm saying that. I'm not saying, I want to be clear. Usually, I will try to say, I like this, because it's an inarguable thing. There's no debate over whether I like this or not. That's up to me. You can't argue about it. De gustibus non est disputandum. There is no disputing taste. Or when it comes to taste, there can be no dispute. I like this thing. Done. But if I say this thing good, that's like a universal, right? That's it is good, and you should recognize it as such. So I try not to use those very often. I think Ousama ranking is good. I mean, I think it's just good. I think this is solid storytelling. Every bit of that story is backed up by the animation and the framing and the flow of the episode and the way the characters look and act and sound. Every bit of it is backed up. It feels like the foundations are all solid. It feels good. So I'm willing to go out on that limb and just say I think Ousama ranking is good. And you can disagree with that. Totally viable, totally valid. But I think if you're watching this episode, I think you might just agree with me and find that Ousama ranking is pretty freaking cool. Because I think it's pretty freaking cool. I think the show's really good. That's super exciting. Yay! It's a good show. It's a good show. Like a really good show. There's mystery afoot. There's exciting stuff. There are characters that I care about for real. For real, for real. More than one of them. At least 2 that I really care about. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot more than 0, which is about how many characters I really care about at the end of the first 2 episodes of most shows, is 0. It's usually I don't care at all. I care about both of them. And they care about each other. And so I care about them caring about each other. It's so wholesome. I can't wait for it to get more horrifying and more interesting. I'm so excited. All right, we're going to wrap here because I'm just blathering about happy stuff. But damn, what an episode. Roller coaster, start to finish. Really good. Really loved it. Really enjoying this show so far. Okay. Thank you all for joining me. I've been Teeaboo. This has been Ousama Ranking 2. I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you haven't, let me know. If you have, let me know. If you got cool thoughts or ideas or anything about this episode, drop them in the comments. And again, I might talk about them next time. We're going to end there for the day. Next week's episode will be up on Patreon the day that this one goes live on YouTube, so check that out on the Patreon if you are so inclined. Appreciate it. If you don't want to or can't do that, then dropping a like and a comment and maybe a subscribe-o are all good things that help the channel and help the video get out there to more people, which is cool. Thank you very much for watching. It's been a joy to spend an hour here talking about Ousama ranking, and I'm looking forward to doing it again next week. See you next week for more. Peace.